So we provide farmers with access to solar-powered cooling technologies to preserve their crops. Globally, about 30 to 50% of crops harvested do not reach consumers, do not even get to the marketplace. So we are trying to solve that problem by providing farmers to get access to these cooling technologies to preserve their crops. So we have a modular unit that is at the farm gate where the farmers harvest their crops. When they don't get available market or when the pricing during that day isn't good, they bring their crops to the cooling unit to preserve it there. And then we also have the mobile trailer that is hooked to trucks that is pulled from one community to another. And then we have the solar refrigerated tricycle, which serves as a last mile delivery.
But before now, technology existed because our forebearers had technology, one way or the other. So I'm just thinking to myself, how did they do it differently? And they ate fresh.
We have other traditional method of preserving your crop for a very long time.
Okay.
So I would say probably they harvested during dawn and then during nightfall when there's no sunshine.
Hi, good morning and welcome to the Africa Discourse channel. If you're listening to us on our radio platform, we welcome you also. If you're watching this, thank you very much for joining us. As you know, one of our key mantra is to ensure we highlight the voices shaping the future of Africa. And one of those voices are here today. I'm quite excited to speak to him and the companies he represents, primarily because I have seen the journey of this company from the day of inception. And thank you very much for joining us, Prince. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for doing.
Awesome, great. Our audience don't know about your company, don't know about your business, don't know what you do. So I don't want to jinx it, but I'm sure I could speak more about your company because I've interfered or interacted rather with the business across multiple touch points.
Yeah.
But could you tell us about what your company does and why it does so?
Yes. My name is Prince and I'm currently the business development officer for Akofresh. So Akofresh, what we basically do is we provide farmers.
Akofresh?
Akofresh, yeah.
What's the meaning of Ako?
So the Ako there, because the story started from Akumadan, Akumadan in the Ashanti region.
Okay.
So the
Akumadan
Ako there stands for Akumadan. Yeah.
Akumadan in the Ashanti region of Ghana. Right.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we provide farmers with access to solar-powered cooling technologies to preserve their crops. Globally, about 30 to 50% of crops harvested do not reach consumers, do not even get to the marketplace. So we are trying to solve that problem by providing farmers to get access to these cooling technologies to preserve their crops. So we have a modular unit that is at the farm gate where the farmers harvest their crops. When they don't get available market or when the pricing during that day isn't good, they bring their crops to the cooling units to preserve it there. And then we also have the mobile trailer that is hooked to trucks that is pulled from one community to another. And then we have the solar refrigerated tricycle, which serves as a last mile delivery. So let's say an off-taker wants to transport produce from the farm to his or her site. Yes, that person can use the cooling tricycle to do that transportation. Yeah. And aside that, we also provide farmer trainings where we train farmers on how to practice agriculture sustainably and then also post-harvest management and then how to use their mobile phones to have access to information, whether it's weather forecast or if they want to buy farm inputs or sell their crops. It's how they can use their mobile phone devices to access all this information.
Oh, okay, interesting. Does this work for young phones as well?
Exactly, yeah.
How does it work?
So yes, we try to introduce other organizations doing that, like Farmerline and then Grow For Me. They already have short codes that you dial on your phone and you can get access to all this information.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that insight. Now, your technology or your company is providing farmers with the technology that helps solve post-harvest loss.
Exactly.
And like you said in your intro, about 30% or 90%? What was it?
30 to 50%.
30 to 50% of crops harvested do not get to the the last mile to the consumers. All right. What do you why is that the case? Why do these crops not get to the last mile?
Yeah, it's because
Why
they don't.
we need to create the intervention where we have to have technology such as yours to solve the problem?
Yeah, so because initially they don't have access to it. They are mostly these smallholder farmers are mostly in the rural areas.
Yeah.
And in the rural areas, they don't have access to electricity. And then also the available cold storage are mostly in the cities. Let's say Accra.
So let me hold you off for a second, right? And let's just track back a bit. We know we live in a world of advanced technology, innovation, and the like. But before now, technology existed because our forebears had technology one way or the other. So I'm just thinking to myself, how did they do it differently? And they ate fresh, right? We, this is storage. I mean, of course, this is now a little bit of post-processing. But our forebears ate fresh, all right? How did they do it differently? How were they able to sustain the produce from the farm to the markets? That we now have to reinvent the wheel and now generate or provide technology to amplify that. I mean, technology is good. Your technology is perfect. But where did we miss it?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't there when when they were eating fresh. But the little I can say is we have other traditional method of preserving your crop for a very long time.
Okay.
So I would say probably they harvested during dawn and then during nightfall when there's no sunshine. And then also,
so it means when you harvest during sunshine, then
it's some way somehow affects the crop.
Okay, this is new knowledge. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, if you're joining us, we are now educating you about how to be a farmer. But yes, go ahead. So
and then also some would after harvest they try to get a shade over the harvested crops so they don't get direct sunshine on the crop. Yeah, and then also I don't know. I think this is what they were practicing.
Okay, interesting. So now we see the challenge with the agricultural value chain, where logistics is a problem, accessibility is a problem, and that must have informed the decision for the solution you have created, so that the farmers or the peasant farmers can get their produce not only to the consumers. All right. So, what kind of produce does your product actually support? Support everything across the value chain, or there are specific produce it supports?
Yeah. So we mainly store the perishable ones, highly perishable vegetables, most especially tomatoes. Yeah, tomatoes, and then the leafy vegetables like lettuce, cabbage, contomere. Yes, and pepper. Yes.
We are speaking to an African audience, so what does contomere mean?
That's the cocoyam, the leaf from cocoyam. Yes. And then the question about our forefathers, forebears, they can preserve their crop, but it's not going to last as long as you be using the technology to preserve it. So let's say it's going to last maybe 5 to 10 or maybe 11 days. Okay. But the technology can store, maximum of 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, right. So hold on again. So with our forebears, they could store for 5 to 11 days. That is almost 2 weeks.
More.
Yeah. That's a 3 days short of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So
we can store more with 2 weeks and even more. Yeah.
I see. Okay. How accessible are your solutions to farmers in Ghana? Do you also operate outside of Ghana? And again, how accessible are your solutions to farmers across Africa?
Yes, our solution is very accessible and we can replicate it everywhere in the world. Currently, we have one unit at Akumadan Francho because it's known for producing tomatoes a lot, and that's where the story came from.
Of course.
So yes, we have our units there, and then the tricycle is operating in Accra here. So it's serving farmers at Dodoa, farmers at Amanfro, farmers around Ashaman who cultivate lettuce and then habanero peppers. Yeah, it transport these crops to Eden Tree, who's an off-taker. Yes, and then we are currently piloting in Uganda. Yes,
Okay.
under a project which is funded by the European Union. So we are in the consortium. That's a Sunny Project Consortium. Yes, and then we are supposed to pilot in Uganda or Rwanda, but then Akofresh specifically, we are piloting in Uganda in a refugee camp called a Bidi camp. Yeah.
So let's just stay on the pilot project. What is the project really about? Why Uganda?
Yeah.
What challenges are being faced in that ecosystem that requires a solution?
Yeah. So the project is focused on renewable energy, and then so because Akofresh, we use renewable energy in our solution. We were asked to, we joined the consortium to, test our units in a different region and see how it's also going to work there. Yeah. Other partners are doing other stuff aside the storing. Others are doing biogas. Others are doing hydrogen.
Interesting. How long have Akofresh been around for?
Yes, we've been around for 4 years. This is our 4th year.
And in the 4 years of your existence, what are the major challenges you see across the agricultural value chain?
Across the agricultural value chain, I would say it's fragmented. It's not connected. This sector is doing theirs separately. This sector is doing theirs separately. So there is no kind of connection within the value chain. That's one major problem. And then another major problem is will be with the extension that's providing education to these farmers. I think we have to work on that. We have to let them get aware of some of the new solutions that are coming that can help them increase their yield and then also improve their income. Yeah.
So Africa doesn't feed itself fully. We constantly import agricultural produce from the West or Europe. Why is this?
Honestly, I don't know why we would have to import food from other countries.
Are we producing enough is a question.
There's a problem. We are not producing enough.
Why aren't we producing enough?
Most of the farmers in Africa here are smallholder farmers. They farm in smaller land size. Yeah, they farm basically to feed themselves and then sell the others. Yeah. The commercial farmers in Africa here are very, very small. They are very few. That's the problem why we are not able to.
So you were saying that the commercial farming, it's done in silos, or maybe we have small commercial farmers. So if we were able to increase the capacity or the number of commercial farmers we have in Africa, we'll probably get enough produce to solve the continent.
No, we'll still not get enough. We have to support the smallholder farmers to produce in larger quantities. Yeah.
I see. Interesting. So what just came up in my mind is an experience I had in Ivory Coast. So I'm yet to see that happen in Ghana. And since you are creating solutions for smallholder farmers and farmers in general, just want to pick your mind to see how are we importing solutions or passporting solutions between other African nations that are working in these African nations that we can use it. Do we have any of that thing happening now? For instance, you're setting up in Uganda. All right, that is passporting from Ghana to Uganda because you have something that has worked effectively in Ghana. You want to try it out in Uganda, see if it's feasible also there. Do we have other solutions from other African regions that we are able to implement or utilize here that works?
Yeah, there are a lot of solutions within that the agricultural value chain in other countries that we can actually test them in Ghana here. But then it all depends on partnerships. Private companies in Ghana here can partner with these organizations out there to implement this.
Yeah. Okay. So quickly, just quickly, where do you see your business in the next 5 years? And how do you see it contributing towards Africa's agricultural strides?
Yeah, so in the next 5 years, We should be in about 3 countries in West Africa.
Why?
Why? Because
Why not 16? Okay, now how many countries are we?
since it's 5 years.
Okay, 5.
Since it's 5 years, and one major
I'm talking
challenge
about Africa as general, but you said West Africa,
West
so that was
Africa, yeah.
contextual. That's fine.
in the startup space, one major challenge is fundraising. It's financial parts. So because we are doing more of hardware, it's very difficult to scale up quickly. Yes, getting investors and getting money, fundraising is very, very difficult. So we're not able to scale up quickly within a short period. Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit challenging to get the 16
African.
country. Yeah.
I mean, just staying with the challenges, right? What would you say in the past 4 years of operation have been the most prevailing factor you have to deal with in terms of acceptance by the farmers with your solution?
Yeah. Look, the smallholder farmers, they are known to be doing that practice for a very long time. So convincing them to change their method of farming, and even method of preserving their crops to yours is a very, very big challenge. But then we are trying to solve that problem by using the farmer training side. So during the trainings, we use that period to preach our solution to them. And then also we use farmer stories, right? So those who have used the product, they give testimonials about it. So we play those testimonials to the farmers present there, and that's kind of let them like spark their interest to use that kind of solution.
So would you say that in your experience now that the convincing the farmers is a barrier to entry for you, for your product in certain markets? And is that why you only see yourself being represented in 3 West African countries in the next 5 years, other than doing more?
Yeah, that shouldn't only be the barrier.
So what are the other barriers?
Yes, I was saying the financial, fundraising, getting money to scale up.
But people say farming is lucrative.
Yes, farming is very, very lucrative.
Okay,
yes.
So now your business is not the business of farming, but your business of supporting farmers.
Yeah.
So if farming is lucrative, then there should be enough lucration from the business or from business of farming to get innovation that would advance the lucrativeness of the business.
Exactly. But then the smallholder farmers, their income is not that much. One, because they've lost a lot of crops to post harvest losses. And 2, the middlemen or the food aggregators do not give them a fair price, so they don't get enough money.
Now, another
and
problem.
Then 3, our unit is a little bit expensive because of the solar component. So they are not able to afford it upfront. So we are offering them to them as a service. So it's a pay-as-you-go service. You bring your produce, we store them out. The ones we can store, we keep them in the storage room. You pay a day. If it's 3 cedis, you're going to pay 3 cedis per crate. Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about a solution now. That's because you said you provided a service and the likes, which is great. Now it means that if I'm a farmer, I can't afford to store for too long. I can store for as long as I can, right? And I have to purchase and own the equipment myself.
If you have the financial capacity to purchase it, yes.
And when we spoke about accessibility, that's one of the things I was driving at, right? How accessible is this to farmers? Now, if the farmer cannot own your product, right, you have storage locations in different areas. Accessibility. I'm a farmer, maybe not in Akumadan, where you have a facility, but could be somewhere in Kumasi. All right, let's say trying to find a location in Kumasi I could use. But let's say in Kumasi, where you are is a bit far from me, but I need to store my products. How can I access the same service?
Yeah, that's the one reason why we came up with the mobile units. So once you need that service, we can bring the mobile units to where you are. Then you would preserve your crop.
Wouldn't that be more expensive? Because again, don't forget, I'm a smallholder farmer. I don't have enough. You already said that the middlemen ripped me off. as a smallholder farmer, then of course not getting fair prices, and already I'm losing produce, right? And the little I have, I want to preserve so that I can make profit from that and get into the next farming season. So, accessibility. Is there a way? How much does it cost first in general to get the mobile units to maybe, man? Let's say, okay, you're in Accra base. I'm in Cape Coast, or okay, I can use, for instance, Kofridra. How much would it cost me to get a mobile unit to Kofridra? You can tell for now.
Yes, I can tell for now. Yeah.
Okay, so
with the mobile unit, you just have to hook it to your truck. Then
truck.
Yes.
I must be a rich local farmer to be able to afford it.
Oh, you're not going to own the units yourself.
Okay.
So we are going to bring it to you.
Yeah.
To serve you.
Okay.
Right. So once it comes, you are going to still use the pay-as-you-go model.
Pay-as-you-go model.
Yes.
How many mobile units do you have?
Currently, we have one.
Just one.
Yeah.
And how many is this serving so far?
So far, it's serving just one community.
Just one community.
So
in Akumadan, rather.
Yeah. So the thing is, we are trying to be like, so when this area is out of season for that.
Oh, then you move to a different
community to serve them. Yeah.
And one of the prevalent challenges you're facing to scale is finances.
The finances. Yeah.
So if you are going to pitch to an investor watching this now, all right, do a 1 minute, a 90-second pitch maximum. That will get you finances to run your business. Can you pitch?
Hi. 30 to 50% of food is lost before it gets to the consumers. And in that, we are trying to solve that problem, bridge that gap by providing farmers with the solar-powered cooling technologies to preserve their crops from the usual 5 days to 21 or more days. And then aside that, we help them get access to market to sell off their crop at a very fair price. But then one major problem we are facing is raising funds to scale up these solutions to other communities who are also facing the same challenge. We are requesting for partnerships and investors. If you could support us with some funds, we would be able to replicate our solution in other communities who are facing the similar problems. Thank you.
That's interesting. If you're an investor out there who's looking to support local solutions, solving local problems or community-based initiatives in Ghana, in Africa, West Africa, and other regions of Africa as a whole, please do well to reach out to Akofresh. How do we find you? How do we get in touch?
Yeah, so you can reach out to us. We're on social media as Akofresh, and then website is www.akofresh.com. www.akofresh.com. Yeah.
That was the business development manager at Akofresh, and we just have a quick chat about the agricultural ecosystem and how they are supporting smallholder farmers in local ecosystem to preserve food crops to get to the final consumers. At ADC, we focus on building bridges that connects the industries and the dots together, sparking bold initiatives and sparking bold ideas that keeps our citizenry informed. Thank you again for watching or listening to this edition or this episode. And thank you for joining us and for sharing such inspiring work you're doing at Akofresh. We wish you a successful journey over the next couple of years. You say 5 years in 3 countries. We're following your growth.
Oh, yeah.
And we're tracking it. And please do well to subscribe, listen, and share this content so Akofresh can find investment at some point. Thank you very much for joining us.